Welcome back, folks. I'm Brian, your host, and today's discussion is video editing. How can we make it simplified? How can we make it easy? Take less time? I'm going to introduce you to a tool that I think will help change your workflow quite a bit. So let's get started. If you haven't heard of yet Descript, it's a video editor that includes artificial intelligence that will basically simplify your process by removing distracting backgrounds, filler words like or background noise from your audio. And let's say you mess up on a word pronunciation, AI will clone your voice so you can input or dub what you intended to say, all in a simple click. So to get started, just go to descript.com. You can get started for free. I do see if someone's a content creator, this paying itself off. Maybe you're an educator, maybe you make a lot of video content. It would be worthwhile to pay for a service like this. So as mentioned, you get, actually it looks like an hour for free, and you get a water-free video export, one per month. So maybe if you only create content once in a while, this is for you. But the creator will give you 10 hours per month with no watermark, and you can export it to 4K, and you can remove filler words such as or and you can overdub with 1,000-word vocabulary. That means you can use AI to record your voice, and then you don't have to dub over your voice. It'll capture through its algorithm what your voice sounds like, and then you could simply write the word in to the video you made, and it will dub it on its own. And so you could also remove green screen up to 60 minutes, and then also studio sound. That means it's going to clear up the sound for up to 60 minutes. And you could even use their stock library for free 12 or first 12 results per search. So that means maybe you want some pictures in your video. It's equivalent maybe to Adobe stock. Now for me, I signed up for the Pro plan. I do month to month, so it's $30 a month just to get started. I can cancel at any time. You get, I believe, 48 hours to cancel no matter what plan you're on with the full refund. And instead of just or it could remove 18 filler words and repeated words. So repeated words, if I said my name, something like duplicated, which happens often for me, where I'll say, maybe I can delete that or delete both of those, or right there, I just repeated myself. It would remove that duplication. So it's worthwhile. And if you want to know more about, you just highlight each here and it'll tell you what it's doing. And so check this out. I can also say 20% annually, and you see what the features are. So let's get started with this. So I'm going to open up Descript. Here's my screen here. Now, do I want to share my analytics? Not now. So here's my project here. So begin a new project. I'm going to start a recording, start writing, and it'll use AI to make a podcast of that, which is neat. So you can basically cut and paste an essay you wrote for school, and now your teacher says upload you reading it aloud. You don't even have to read it aloud. You could just give it some of your voice, and then it creates its algorithm of you talking or saying that essay aloud. But for this, I'm going to upload my file. Of course, you could start with a template, so it's basically a full-fledged editor. So from here, I choose a file. I'm going to use pre-edit. This is a hour and 28-minute file I used that I'm going to explain how to use Google Workspace. And I just named it pre-edit because I'm going to edit this. Basically, any video you have, you just upload it. I just gave it a nice remindable name for me to use. So now it's adding the file, as you see down here. And because it's almost an hour and a half long, it's going to take a while for it to process and transcribe. So just be patient with the software. Oh, look, it already did it. Now, as it's transcribing it says it'll be ready in a few minutes, but now it tells me, okay, it's an MP4. It's an MPEG-4. And then it detected one speaker. And so why is that important? If you had two speakers, you can give those speakers names, so that way it knows or becomes familiarized with the speaker, and the AI can use that when you go to dub over your voice. So this speaker, that's me. My name is Brian. And it's going to be transcribing in English. I don't want to transcribe in any other language that I don't speak. And I'll click done. So be patient as it transcribed. It said a few minutes. And while this is doing that, this is a good time to go over what this does. So up here, I tend to like the start programs. When I learn new programs from start to finish, like a book, top to bottom, I'm going to look at the application and start in the top left like I read a book and go left to right, top to bottom. So the first thing here is back to projects, quick actions, file. You see all the settings right here. You can change your project settings or who has access to it. And you could delete the project or go into app settings, like what are your default settings. You can go into edit, so you see all your copy, paste, space special, remove filler words. So some of this is going to be already, this edit features will be in this portion of the screen here too. Insert, we already inserted our speaker label. We can make comments on what we're editing. Scenes, text, shape, recording, format. We can italicize our transcription or italicize, bold, or highlight. Controls, we can move ahead of scene, spot, audition, play from cursor, play pause. View, we can toggle, move video, hide video, increase text size for our transcription, or window. We can minimize our window here. Always check out the help when you're curious what to do. It's going to take you over to Descript help. And from here, you can type in what you need to learn. So it's 53% of the way done. We went through here. Now what's this? Click here. You can add more compositions right over to this, or a new folder of multiple videos. So if you have, let's say, 3 cameras filming you simultaneous, you can do multi-camera effects, because this is a full-fledged video editor. Now over here, media. Like I said, you can add more content to there. You could add GIFs, images. Ooh, look at that. They give you some audio sound effects, like a mouse clicker, swoosh. You could add these into your video, illustrations. And so you have basically stock videos, GIFs, and audio, and even stock videos. Oh, wow. So it's basically giving you an arsenal of things you can insert to make your video look professional or just give it some character. What's this right here? This is to record your own camera if you want to start working out of your video editor right inside of it with your camera. Why not? Text, you can add text overlaid onto your footage here and set when those texts appear or disappear. You can add shapes, rectangles, ellipses, waveforms, lines, arrows over your video footage. And then you can do templates where you can go in, let's say it's a slideshow and you want to start talking over a slideshow, or you want to make a TikTok, you can do a vertical, and you can make your nice phone screen size template here that you just insert your footage, and it's got this little countdown, and it's got this title that you can insert. It even has a transcription or a closed captioning for what you're saying. So it has a lot of great tools to get started for background, snow or rain. And just go through here one by one. Multi-camera, this is nice if you have 2 video feeds. Let's say you did an interview over Google Meet, you can insert both the video feeds, or if you did 2 separate videos, whatever it is. Maybe you have 2 views from one source, like me, if I had to view my face from forward or from backward or angle, like in the movies. You can be figuring out how you want the placement of your interviews to be, or how you want to disguise your footage. And so over here, we can upload it to the cloud. It's uploading now. We can make comments on our editor if you have multiple people or you need to remember what you're doing there. You can add access to other people. And you could publish this, which when you push this, it'll ask you, okay, do you want it to be a web link or uploaded to YouTube? You just choose accordingly, or you could just download it with this little button here. Before you download it, you want to figure out what's the max resolution you want. Under this plan, it only let me go to 1080p, which is fine because that's what I recorded it. And don't want to give access to anyone else on this. Settings, I could show the transcript, allow comments, author, so for when I'm sharing it. And then finally, once I determine that I'm ready, I could publish it and download it or just export. If I export, this is going to be downloading to my computer. I can download just the current selection or the composition or the scene or all compositions. Get your file 10 times faster with our publishing feature, and then it lets you know how to do that. I want to move it up to max. My quality, I want it to be high. My audio, I want it to be higher quality. So I could set this all the way to 256. However, I want my audio to come back as. And metadata would be stuff like the title of this, the description, include markers as chapters. That could be very handy when you're editing this video, uploading it to YouTube. You can have little cues of what chapter or where you're at. But we're not ready to do that just yet. We need to start editing. So what you see here is my video is finished transcribing, hence why you see all this here. And it's already started to mark up some of my video transcription. So you see there's an and we said that with the plan, you get the benefit of removing filler words. And then on this plan that I have, the Pro, 18 filler words. And so what's so great about that is when I go through here, it's already picked up my filler words. So now we went through the top bar here. Let's go through some of the features. So switch to write mode. When I click here, I could start writing. And it already knows my voice because I identified my name as Brian, and it's already got enough data here from my audio to artificially insinuate or to replicate or clone, in other words, my own voice. So if I typed in here, hello, it would start doing or inputting my name or hello. But again, I don't have any footage here, so it would be a blank screen because it can't be inserted over that. So I'm not going to do that. So Control Z that. And now if I did want to fix something here, I can. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to click in the beginning. I want it to go through. I can search for words to remove them. So where did I say And it'll go through and find it, but the algorithm already knows that. So maybe you might use this if you're trying to find where you said a misspelled word. Maybe you misspell a certain word frequently, like Google. And so you can just go through there.
Is Google Workspace to resolve all.
And if you notice, it'll find all those spots I said it. But I'm fairly confident I said the word Google. For the sake of this exercise, we're just going to start back from the beginning, and I'm going to go right to here, and I could shorten my word gaps. So what does shorten word gaps do? Is it goes through and analyzes where I have gaps in the things I said. So maybe it took me 4 seconds to move from subscription onto the word so for your business. And that would take up more video time. As you see, I have an hour and 28 minutes, so that might be something I want to do. And having the ability to remove the gaps in between my words can shorten the video and keep it on target where there's no people feel bored of the video. And the next thing we could do here is remove filler words. This is probably the most useful tool and simplest to use right out the bat. It's already picked up that I've used I have 361 filler words, and those filler words consist of things like so, kind of, it's. Now, if you notice here, it picked up a redundant word. It's said twice. And so I go through here one by one just to make sure that these are filler words. And if they all look, if I click on one here,
but what I like is
I can hear it. And maybe I want to remove it. So let's say I click apply.
Been translated.
And so if I go back to where this is right here, well, let's see, apply it to there.
Settings.
Now
you get notified.
Let's go back to here and see how it sounds.
We'll see how well it works. Give it a time here. And look, it's been translated.
Oh, maybe I don't want this it looks like it's redundant. So I'll delete it. Now, when I delete stuff or remove filler words, you see this nice little caption here that says replace with gap clip. Now, if I uncheck this, what it's saying is there will be no gap left between this. And if I say replace with gap clip, it'll leave a gap from the time I spoke that word. So the video essentially is the same length. You may want to choose that the same length if you're doing like an instruction video and they're watching your cursor move around the screen. It doesn't just jump to a different part and they become confused. Whereas you may remove it if it's just you talking and you're not really doing instruction. So you could test it or try it out with both. I think I'm going for this particular one to remove or replace. I'm going to have no gap or blank or dead silence in this clip. It's just going to remove it, so my mouse pointer is going to jump. So if I click apply
Made on this,
and I go through here, let's go back and see how it came out.
Dictionary, translate document. You could translate it to Albanian, and we'll see how well it works. Give it a time here. And look, it's been translated.
You saw it just jump there? So it just got rid of all that. And I think that's fine. But go through one by one if you think if it's detrimental, whether or not you should keep or remove that gap once you remove the filler word or mispronunciation or something along the lines that needs to be removed from your video. So I'm going to apply to all, and I'm going to keep the gap in there just for now. And then it'll show what kind of content I have or gaps I have between words, and I can remove those one by one so I get more freedom to work. So I'm going to apply. Let's just apply to all, and then I could be done with all this if I went through this right column here. So right now, apply to all. I'm going to click this. It's going to take a while. Now it's done. So there's no more filler words. It's still the same length because I just left the gap for those filler words. So one thing to note is where I say you may see my lips move and say but it won't actually be there. The audio, that is. So I'm okay with that. But if I wasn't okay, I can go and remove the gaps and shorten the word lengths in the video, which would remove any of that filler words that was deleted. So shorten word gaps. And so I'm going to set this, if there's more than 1 second or more, maybe I want to remove those. So now it's on 597 instances in the composition where there was more than 1 second. Now maybe I don't want that. So I can go through one and see, what does that look like? So I can apply that and see if it's necessary to have that 1 second gap in there. Maybe I only want to remove 2 seconds. So when there's 2 seconds or more. Now, generally speaking, you would just go through your one by one if you have the time to make sure it still flows nicely. But I'm going to shorten this video and just see how well it comes out. So I'm going to apply 2 second or more, apply to all. So now it's going to remove the video and the audio that would have been silent anyway when this detects 2 seconds or more, where there is no talking, where it's dead silence. So if there's points in this video where I'm not talking for more than 2 seconds and I'm just doing stuff, with the mouse, my instruction could be compromised because my mouse movements won't be there. It'll have a gap, so maybe my mouse once was here, it'll appear over here, or maybe I'll miss myself navigating to this. So that's why I didn't do 1 second or more. I did 2 seconds because I'm confident that within 2 seconds I convey, and I'm always walking people through what I'm doing, so you'll catch my voice as my mouse is moving. But when there's dead silence, maybe I'll be okay with it not being there, the footage that is. And so now it's done. So let's give it a try and see how this video looks from the beginning. I'll play it. Now it's processing. And if you notice, my video went down to 1 hour and 21 minutes versus 1 hour and 28 minutes. So I shaved 7 or so minutes off of this video by removing the gaps or the silence in the video. As you can imagine, this video I'm making right now, I'm going to edit all the gaps, and there'll be quite a few while I'm going through this program on how to use it. So in other words, this video I'm making now will have been used. And what's nice is if you look here, I can actually go in here and dub over these by simply correct or overdub. I don't need to use my microphone to overdub it. It already knows what my voice sounds like, so we can replace it with another word. If you give it a mispronunciation, maybe your lips will look in sync with it. But let's say I could replace it with a whole different word from continue to from. Obviously, my lips are going to say continue, so it's going to look a little funky if I replace it with a whole different word. So keep that in mind. Now I can always go in and correct this word if it was transcribed different from what it should have been. So in other words, I can expand its vocabulary. It's not transcribing the word correctly. Maybe you got a heavy accent and it's saying, it thinks you're saying the word continue, but you're saying continuing. All right, so let's play this. Now, if you look up here, audio, you can increase the audio. If your microphone is not pulling in loud enough, you can take that audio and make it louder by adjusting this. You could even pan it if you want to go left or right on the speakers. Might be effective if you have two speakers, you had the two scenes, pan one source to the left, pan the other source to the right. Layout, you could change how this looks. So I can go make this a different layout. There's my script. And I could, as we mentioned before in this program, you get AI green screen, studio sound in a stock library. Green screen's right here. You could chroma key things out. You can adjust your colors. You could zoom, or you could, like we said, green screen and have no background under there. Applying green screen? No, I don't want that because I already have a green screen. Animation. I could zoom in on video, spin the video, or custom animation. And they have different animated effects by clicking the plus icon. So I'm not going to do any of that today. We're just learning the system. Playback speed we could change. View it slower. We're trying to catch what we're saying. So I'm in write mode. We said we could change our word, clone our voice, and we can exit that by just clicking there. Overdub, we could overdub words. So overdubbed, nice. If you mispronounce a word, assign an overdub voice to the speaker. What's my voice? It's this guy. Click done. So now if I overdub and I write something in here, it's going to use my voice that AI has already detected what I sound like. So if I could change that to welcome to hello. If we do hello, won't match my lips. So be cognizant of that. So this video is done. Now we just need to export it. So I'm going to go to publish. I want the max. Anyone with delete can access. I'm just going to export it to my computer here. High quality, max resolution. So I'm going to export. Give it a name. Post. Edit with what's this file is Google with Education. Google Workspace. How to use. All right, so now I can recognize it. I'm going to put it in a different folder here. Descript, final, videos. Save. Exporting at 0%. We'll let that run for as long as it needs. Then we're done. And so that's how we edit our videos with Descript. It'll save your time creating a workflow that really makes your videos more live, more engaging, and it'll save you time. If you like this video, just let me know. If you have any comments, again, this video was recorded in May of 2023, so some of the features have changed. Perhaps by the time you're watching this, always go to the help file. Thank you for watching. See you next time.